Happy New Year's, guys. I hope your year is off to a better start than mine is. Currently, my whole city's burning down. So, yeah. Anyway, we still got to invest. So, I'm going to be sharing my investing strategy for 2025. I'm going to show you exactly where I plan to put all my money. If you watched my last video, you know that I paid off all my debt in 2024. I also have a 3 to 4 month emergency savings fund built up. So, this year is the first year since I've been investing over the last 5 years that I'm going to get to put all of the money that I pay myself into investments. And I'm really excited about that. So what I'm gonna do is show you exactly how much I'll be paying myself, where I'll be putting that money, what accounts I'll be putting that money into, and then what assets I'll be buying within those accounts. I should say I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. I'm just a guy on the internet sharing my personal journey, sharing my strategy. By no means is this the right way or the one and only way to do things. It is going to depend on who you are as a person, what your goals are, what your psychology around money is. There's a lot of other YouTubers who are making videos about their investment strategies. So please go check those out and see what resonates with you, because what I say might not necessarily all resonate with you. Maybe you pull a piece from mine, you pull a piece from someone else's, and you create your own strategy that feels right for you. There's obviously certain things that are right or wrong to do when it comes to personal finances, but in general, there's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So that's my little disclaimer before we get into things. A little context for those who don't know, I'm 28 years old, I live in Los Angeles, and this year I'll be making $92,000 base, and then I should be making about $102,000 once you add in my bonus and 401k match. There may also be some additional side hustle income on top of that, we'll see. But those are the numbers that I'm working with, and of that, $2,000 a month is going to be my bare minimum number that I have to pay myself. When I say pay myself, that's the money that I'm going to be putting aside before I do anything else, and that's going to go to investing. So that $2,000 number, that's the bare minimum. I should be able to invest a couple $1,000s more by the end of the year, just depending on how things work out. But right now, looking at the numbers, I think I'll be able to invest about an additional $6,000 by the end of the year. Of that $2,000, the first place I'm going to put my money is into my 401k. I will be putting $500 a month into this account. That'll be partially my contribution, partially my employer's match. In my last video, I actually made a mistake. I said that I was invested in a target date fund in my 401k, and a couple of you guys called me out in the comments, which I really appreciate. I then went and double checked, and I don't know why I was really certain that I was invested in a target date fund, and I was not. I'm invested in a couple ETFs. Probably figured out it wasn't the most optimal choice or direction for me to go with my investments. So thank you guys for calling that out. I should have double checked that. I was just really certain that I was in a target date fund. So the actual breakdown of my 401k is about 50% S&P 500, 20% in a growth ETF, 15% in a tech ETF, and 15% in a total bond market ETF. For the first 5 months of the year, the remaining $1,500 that I will be paying myself is going to go into my Roth IRA. I currently have about $1,500, just under $1,500 left to max out my 2024 balance. The rest will be going towards my 2025 Roth IRA balance, which I want to max out. The limit is $7,000 this year, same as last year. And my Roth is broken down slightly different than my 401k. It's still 50% in the S&P 500, and then 25% in an international markets fund, 10% in a US small cap fund, 5% in an emerging markets fund, 5% in a total bond market fund, and 5% in a real estate investment trust. And I'm gonna have all the ticker symbols somewhere over here so that you guys can see the exact ETFs that I'm buying in these accounts. And so that brings us to June. And in June, I'll have $1,000 left to put towards my 2025 Roth balance. So $1,000 will go there. $500 will go to my 401k, same as before. And then the other $500 is going to go into a taxable brokerage account. I currently don't have any money in my brokerage account because I've been prioritizing my retirement accounts, my debt repayment, and my emergency savings. But like I said at the beginning, I've got my debt paid off, I've got an emergency savings, and as of this year, I'll be able to max out my retirement accounts. Well, I'll be able to max out my Roth, and I am meeting my employer's match on the 401k. And so the rest of the money that I invest is going to go into this brokerage account. And the reason I'm doing this instead of, say, maxing out my 401k is that I want financial freedom before I'm of retirement age. I want the freedom to take time off to spend with my future family. I want to be a present father, a present partner. I want to have flexibility in my schedule, but I also want to be able to do work that is really meaningful to me, do the work that I want to do, and not have the pressure of having to make money from it. Hopefully the work I do does make me money, but I'd love to have investment income that could supplement any sort of work I want to do. If I want to do a project that isn't going to make me any money, I want to be able to do that and know that I'm going to be all right. So having money invested in this account that I can pull from before I'm of retirement age is going to be really important down the road for me. In this account, similar to my Roth and my 401k, 50% is going to be put into the S&P 500. Then I'm going to have 25% in an international fund. I'm going to have 10% in a total bond market fund. And then I'm going to put 15% towards AI stocks. And this is going to be new for me. If you watched my last video, you know that I have a decent position in crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically. I don't own other coins right now, but I bought those back in 2020 because I could see that there was this excitement building in the space. I kind of got in right before things really blew up. I got lucky there. But I could tell that there was a lot of innovation going on, and I could tell that it was an important technology, and I also didn't know anything about it. So I got some skin in the game, and then over the last 5 years, I've spent my time learning about crypto. I've spent my time learning about blockchain, keeping up with the markets, understanding the value propositions of Bitcoin and Ethereum and other tokens as well, but I only own Bitcoin and Ethereum. So my whole process, my whole experience in the crypto space has been a really fun learning experience for me, along with obviously the gains that I've seen, which have outpaced anything else that I own. But I'm feeling similarly about AI, where I can tell that it is clearly a really important technology. It's changing the world as we speak. And I don't know much about it outside of using a few different AI platforms to help with this YouTube channel, to help with my 9 to 5. I don't really know much about the technology. I don't really know much about the implications. I want to learn more, and I want to have some skin in the game. So I'm going to be putting 15% of the money in my brokerage account into AI stocks. Most likely it'll just be in an ETF that holds AI companies, but if you have any book recommendations, YouTube channels, podcasts, articles, people, companies that I should look into, please drop those below in the comments. I'm going to be spending the next 6 months learning more about AI before I make this investment, because I want to have more conviction around whatever it is I'm buying. And I suggest anyone who's investing in anything that's higher risk does the same, if for nothing else, just to lower your stress levels when things are going up and down like crazy. And so that brings us to July. And from July through the end of the year, I will be continuing to put $500 into my 401k. And then I will be putting $1,500, the remaining $1,500, into my brokerage account. So that brings us to the end of the year. But like I said at the beginning of the video, there should be a few additional $1,000 that I'll be able to pay myself throughout the year. And those are going to come in the form of bonuses, which I get 2 of from my job, tax returns. I don't know if I'll be getting any money from my tax returns this year, any other unplanned for money, birthday, little side gig stuff, and then money that I pull in from my side hustle. So I have a real estate photography side hustle, and that has brought in $2,000 to $5,000 over the last 2 years, each year. I don't know, like, business has been steadily decreasing because I'm putting a lot more time into this and into my 9 to 5. So I don't think I will be making as much, but I might still make a few hundred to a few $1,000s from that side hustle. And then this YouTube channel is getting close to being monetized. I'm about a little over halfway. So I think somewhere in the next 6 months, somewhere in the next year, I will most likely be monetized on this channel, and then we'll see what happens with that. Either way, whatever the amount ends up being of additional money that I make this year, I'm going to be putting that into my emergency savings. Like I said earlier, my emergency savings is sitting at like 3 to 4 months. I want to get that up to 6 months. That's my current goal, which would be about $18,000. Is that right? Yeah, $18,000. Currently it's sitting at about $13,000. So if I can put another $5,000 into that account, that would be great. So that's where my money's going. And the current value of my portfolio is sitting at about $72,000. So with a little luck, as long as the markets don't crash, I should be able to hit $100,000 in assets. I'll be investing that minimum of $2,000 per month, so $24,000 by the end of the year. And then that additional money that comes in, we're going to estimate that to be at about $6,000. That'll put me at $30,000 invested. Add that to the 72,000, brings me to $102,000 in assets, assuming the market does nothing. If it crashes, obviously, I'll most likely not hit $100,000. And if the market goes up at all, I'm almost guaranteed to hit $100,000. Either way, I'm just excited to not be paying off debt and to be able to put all my money into investing. I think this next phase of my personal finance journey is going to be really fun for me, really exciting to see the growth that I have over these next couple of years. And I'm really glad to have you guys along for this ride. It's been really cool to interact with you guys in the comments as this community grows, to hear your thoughts on my personal finances, but also to hear you share what your numbers are and what your plans are, because it's really inspiring, especially for the people who are, so many people in the comments are doing so much better than me in terms of numbers. One guy in the last video said that his net worth at 29 is 7 million, which is insane. Like, that's so cool to see. It's inspiring for me. I'm sure it's inspiring for other people who are going through and reading the comments. So feel free to drop your numbers, like fucking let the world know how you're doing. It's something that we don't really get to do in person. At least it's not something I get to do much in person because the people I'm around don't really like talking about money. So YouTube's been a really fun space to have these open conversations about money. I also really want to say thank you to everyone who leaves advice and tips for me. There've been a couple comments that I've gone and done additional research and figured out that, oh yeah, I was not necessarily making the best decision with my money, and then I go and update my approach. And so any thoughts you have, any feedback you have for me on my finances, on my YouTube channel, feel free. It's like, I'm never gonna feel some type of way. I'm never gonna respond negatively to any comments. I appreciate all of them. So thank you guys. I'm loving building this community. I'm excited to see what 2025 has in store for us. I hope you have a great start to your year. I hope your investments do incredibly well. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happened. I'm fucking excited. You know what? I don't know. I'm running out of words to say. I'm starting to ramble. I'm gonna wrap this video up. Also, if you're a football fan, fucking go Birds. Let's beat the Packers today. Peace out.